my voice isn't valid, but the bullshit that comes out of Boris Johnson's mouth is valid. The bullshit that comes out of Michael Gove's mouth is valid, but what I say isn't valid. Come on, bro, I don't want to listen to these nerds.
Why do some people want to ban drill music?
Because they didn't grow up on the music of today. They grew up on Duran Duran, Wham, these type of things, and they didn't grow up in inner city areas where there's a lot of poverty, there's a lot of crackheads, there's a lot of things that we don't like to talk about in everyday society, and drill highlights those things. And I think the ugly side of Britain is what drill shows, and unfortunately a lot of the people in power don't want to see that reflection of their country, and it's understandable, so they want to ban what they believe is ugly. Do you think I'm ugly? For young black men in London, not that I can speak for every young black man, but it's very detrimental what's going on with the government right now. But in terms of just the underprivileged, if I was an Albanian kid in London right now, it's not very good for me either. If I was just a kid from France that's just over here studying, I don't know what's happening with Brexit. It's not very good for anybody right now. The people in power have misused their power. This has been probably the first person probably misused their power after Enoch Powell. After that, it's just transcended generation after generation, and now we've got to ourselves to a point where it's irreversible. The attention on drill is just a distraction from what's really going on. The most violence and the most outlandish language I ever saw was when I was 6 years old watching Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. That's nothing to do with drill. That's just British culture as it is. That's how we sell ourselves to the rest of the world. Jason Statham is a classic example of British masculinity and British machoism. That's what we're about. We're not dickheads, you know what I mean? So just because the urban demographic of Britain are not trying to be dickheads either, like, come on, are we trying to go around to the rest of the world and be dickheads? Maybe Boris Johnson's a dickhead, but I'm not a dickhead, you know what I'm saying? Political drilling, the worst nightmare of every single MP within the country. The track that highlights what MPs say behind closed doors, but want to pretend like maybe a 14-year-old going to studio is doing. What the politicians say affects our parents, it affects our aunties, it affects our grandmothers. What a drill artist says does not affect your grandmother. It does not affect your auntie. It affects literally maybe the guy he's against and himself. It doesn't affect outside people. What these people in power, the power that they actually wield and what they're doing with their power is detrimental to communities. Communities are being completely deconstructed through gentrification, through austerity measures, through so many different things. And this is coming from the mouths of the people we have elected. Can you believe this? This is meant to be democracy, but yet me speaking and saying, yeah, a man tried to stab me yesterday, or me saying, I don't know, I didn't have enough money for my electric meter. It's too much of an ugly reality for Britain. Is that what we're trying to say? That my voice isn't valid, but the bullshit that comes out of Boris Johnson's mouth is valid. The bullshit that comes out of Michael Gove's mouth is valid, but what I say isn't valid. Come on, bro, I don't want to listen to these nerds. We're living in a society right now that's broken, that's divided. We're living in a society right now where we don't even know if we can trust our elected officials. Drill music's just another reflection of the confusion that is going on within our country.